Hallo, einen schönen guten Abend. Wir haben heute hier einen zweiteiligen Konzertabend. Im ersten Teil hören wir 3 Stücke der Preisträger des Kompositionswettbewerbs Composing for and by All des KNM Campus Ensemble. Dazu gleich mehr Details. Ich hoffe, man kann mich gut hören. Wenn nicht, dann einmal irgendwie Arme hoch. Okay. Und dann gibt es eine Pause, hinten gibt es Getränke und so weiter. Und im zweiten Teil gibt es dann neue Stücke, die hier zur Uraufführung kommen, auch nochmal. Und ältere Stücke von Peter Ablinger und Pauline Oliveros. Dazu auch später mehr. Wir wollen jetzt einen Blick noch darauf werfen, kurz was im ersten Teil passiert. Ich bin Leonie Reineke und hier bei mir sind direkt neben mir Rebecca Lenton. Sie ist Flötistin im KNM Berlin Ensemble und auch Leiterin des Campus Ensemble. Und die KomponistInnen der 3 Stücke, die wir gleich hören, haben wir hier einmal Marco Wedel und Max Wilson. Brian Ledwidge Flynn kann leider nicht hier sein, aber auch darüber sprechen wir kurz über das Stück. And as we have many international guests here tonight, we will go on in English. Rebecca, there are different groups and ensembles assembled here tonight. For everyone who hasn't attended any Coma or any KNM Campus or Tutti Quanti orchestra event so far, could you briefly say what's the concept of these groups? Who are they and where do the members come from?
Okay. Lots of questions in one. So I think we have about between 50 and 60 people who have all come together from several ensembles. I'll begin with the Coma ensembles. They've travelled from afar. So Coma is Contemporary Music for All, an institution with I think 20 or something ensembles across Europe now, so many in England, and today we have people from London, from Nottingham, then from Coma Maastricht, Coma Eindhoven, Coma Amsterdam, and we have some extra guests from Israel, from Mainz in Germany, from Potsdam, I think. So they're the guests who've joined us, and in Berlin we have KNM Campus Ensemble, my colleagues from KNM Berlin, the professional ensemble for contemporary music, and the first time that the music school orchestra from Musikschule Friedrichshain-Kreuzberg has joined us for Campus Days Tutti Quanti, which is so it's a big group of people. The idea is that people from all over who are interested in playing contemporary music can come together and do so.
And people with a professional background and people without professional background or semi-professional background, right?
Yes. So today we have a mixture of amateurs and semi-professionals and professionals. Yes.
And how do you collaborate? I mean, how do you bring all those people together, and how did you rehearse for this evening?
Well, the program was decided on a long time ago, so several months ago. And there is a registration process which also began a while ago. We're in contact. So KNM Campus Ensemble we don't have the Coma name, but we're a partner ensemble with the Coma institution, and we're in contact. So they knew that this is happening. We've done Campus Days now every 2 years for the last few years. This is the 5th KNM Campus Days. So they can register, and then at some point they get the parts. They can prepare by themselves. With the Berlin ensembles, we've been rehearsing for several weeks on Monday evenings. There was then a Zoom meeting where people could join, and I explained what the players had to do with their parts, because with contemporary music sometimes it's not always self-explanatory, so a little bit of help deciphering the codes of contemporary music can be very helpful. So there was that. And then it really started on Thursday evening. So our guests arrived on Thursday, and Friday morning at 10 o'clock we started rehearsing together. So everybody came together, which was then the second part. It's going to be the second half of the concert this evening. And we rehearsed all day yesterday and all morning today.
So intense 1.5 days. The 3 pieces we'll listen to in a bit are part of a competition. What type of competition is that? How does it work? And what were the composer's tasks?
The competition is contemporary composing music for and by all, so it really is open to everybody who composes music. And we had applicants from amateur composers as well as professional composers. The task is to write an open score piece of no longer than 8 minutes. And open score in this case is something that has been developed actually by Coma, so they have quite a long list of rules that should be adhered to. The reason for that is with the amateur ensembles, it's not like professional ensembles. You have one flute, one clarinet, and you always know the orchestration that you're working with. The amateur ensembles tend to be flexible, so people come and people go, and that's normal. So it's really important to have pieces that work for different combinations of people and different numbers of people. So there are some pieces that can work with 8 people or with 30 people.
Can you say a few words about Brian Ledwidge Flynn's piece, who is not here tonight? I think that's the piece in the middle of the program now. He delivered a single-page score, right?
Almost. There was a second page.
Okay.
But yes. So he kept his score. It's a very minimalistic score, and it's certainly reminiscent of the minimalist composers than Riley, Reich, and co. So, but yeah, the piece lasts for 8 minutes, and we have one sheet of music. The second sheet was further dynamics, if you like, but yes.
All right, thank you. Then I'll switch to Max. So you wrote a partially graphical score, right?
Yeah, that's right. So there's a visual element in the score with some graphics that I drew, like calligraphy, with lots of parts of musical notes and treble clefs, and as a kind of visual stimulus for the free improvisation sections. So it's partly that, it's partly notated as well. And there's some other like rhythmic patterns that are notated and individual pitches from time to time. So it's a real mix of visual stimulus from the traditional notation to the more abstract graphic notation.
I have read that you work with the image of a clock. So what's the story behind that? Yeah,
well, I mean, I could say that, nature, time is so important in nature, rhythm, the heartbeat, the ticking of a clock, and of course the importance of rhythm in music. We couldn't really have melody without rhythm, because as soon as you play that second note, you've stated a rhythm already, so you could say that rhythm is the most important. But actually, it was also very practical, the clock, for making sure that the players could come together at various points in the piece. So there's clock symbols on the score, and Rebecca's being the clock tonight. She's actually going to be the clock physically, which I think actually works really well. The score states to have a clock projected, so the audience can see that element of the piece, but actually it works just as well the way Rebecca's interpreted it.
All right, this is the last piece of this first half, right? Then let's talk about the first piece, Marco Wedel's piece. So in the program note, in the score, you wrote that it is a piece about proximity and distance. To what extent?
Well, I think I wanted to write a social score in a way. I wanted not to focus on, people talk a lot about artificial intelligence nowadays and algorithms and electronics in music and graphic scores, and I wanted to, so what does it mean to make music as a human and bring this social momentum in it? So to deliver a framework where the musicians as individuals are meant to constantly negotiate what it means to be together in that moment. And this is what I'm trying to say. So there's proximity, which they allow, and they lose themselves maybe in between, and also how they find structure and how they lose structure. If how long can you maintain a structure if individually the people decided to turn their backs on that structure, and how do you maintain it, how it's lost, and how you eventually find it again. So that's the idea.
So it's a choreographical element, right? I've seen in the score also something like, you said social score with dots and directions, actually.
Yes, but these were like ideas from a composer's point of view, but in fact it's not that important to adhere to this idea that I had, but the freedom is really there for the orchestra and the ensemble to find it out themselves in this very moment. So this was basically a hint how it could possibly work.
And the piece consists of 4 different parts, is that correct?
It's, roughly. So the idea is also, it begins, well, I don't want to spoil it now, but, trying to find music and tonality, and through tonality try to find structure, and then agreeing on structure, and then losing it and finding it again. And because I had the chance to be here at the rehearsals, I also understood my piece better in ways of like how it is almost a political commentary. So we have, a social structure that agrees on something. And will they manage to agree? And will they manage to find harmony in that agreement? And how long does it work? And what happens if actually people walk away from this structure? And when does it break? So it's a bit, maybe also commentary on our social being right now. Don't know.
Yeah, like a metaphor for societal activities, perhaps. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I hope you all remembered everything. Have fun, enjoy. Thank you.